Hey, what's up guys? So for some reason it would not record my C# script that I'm explaining later in the video. So I put it up here in the beginning of the video so you can reference it for when you actually create the tooltip later on. So if you don't know how to create a UI text image in Canvas, you basically look in your top left hierarchy window, there's a little create button and a drop down window, and you simply go to UI, which opens another tab, or you just right click onto the hierarchy window on an empty space and simply click on UI and then click on the image, canvas, and the text, which I will later explain. Hey, what's up guys? Paratrooper82 here with my second Unity tutorial. So today I'm going to show you how to make a tooltip for your game so you can tell players what you want them to do, or just to kind of give them a tip with an idea. So for me, I have unlocked and shown the layer of the UI again, and usually I do not show it and lock it. Just so, let me zoom out. So my UI is right here, and I usually lock it so when I'm in the game, or when I'm actually working on my game, I don't accidentally select the UI and delete it. Alright, so let's get to the tutorial. The first thing you want to do is create an empty game object, and we're going to call this tutorial tooltip holder. So the second thing you want to do is, I have made this little spinning key icon that was free from the Unity assets that they have on their tutorials. When I go in the game, let me mute the audio. You can actually see it's just a spinning key. You can make this whatever. You can even make it a static sign that does not have an animation. Sorry about the message. Alright, so now that you have your spinning key, you want to move that into your tutorial tooltip holder. Go up into the position, make that 0, 0, so it's centered on the tooltip holder. So now you can kind of move it like up in here so it's spinning. Alright. So the second thing you want to do is click on your spinning key, or wherever. You can even go up and create an empty game to create the object. You want to go to UI and you want to select a canvas. So your canvas is generally gonna come up in here, because this is where my canvas is for the level starter pack. So you can actually, whoa, what is going on? Layers, okay. So, oh, okay, my bad. So first mistake. In the render mode, you want to unselect the screen space overlay only. You want to go into world space. So now you can actually move it, because you can move the canvas in the world space. And then you want to click up in here to the scale tool and scale it down to the size that you want, so it kind of overlaps your spinning key. And because it is on the spinning key, you can make the X position 0 and the Y position 0. You can even scale it a little bit more, kind of like that. Make the X position 0 and move it up a little bit. Okay, good. Because now you can right click on your canvas, select UI. Now I got this little helpful tool downloaded off the Unity Asset Store for free, which is Text Mesh Pro, which gives you a lot more option for your UI text. So you want to click on Text Mesh Pro Text, and now it's going to appear right in the middle of your canvas that originally was up in there. So now that you have your canvas, you have your Text Mesh Pro text centered, position X and position Y is 0. You can even go down here and center the text in the middle. And you can type anything in, like, hey, you made it. Okay. Make this a little bit bigger, move it up on the Y-axis. So the next thing you want to do is, when you actually go in the game, you're going to see it's just a white text that kind of looks pretty horrible. So you can select whatever background you want. You can do a UI texture, or you can do what I did, and you go to Canvas, you go to UI, and you select Image. and you can even increase the image a little bit. Let me see. Actually, click on image, source image, select the source image, and select whatever sprite you want to select. For me, it's going to be the options menu to make it simple. And now you have a options menu as the UI image, and you can kind of increase it. You can elongate it a little bit on the x-axis. You can move it up, and then you want to move the text mesh pro underneath the image in the order, so it kind of is above the image. And then you can even scale. You can scale this a little bit too. You can do that by selecting the font size, putting the font size to maybe 20, and then move it, kind of scale it towards your box, and move it in the center of the box. So now when you look within the game, you have your canvas, you have your UI text, and you have your UI image, but it's not just gonna stay like this. You don't want it to continuously stay within your game. You want it to appear when your player walks in it. So to do that, you actually have to write a C# script, and to do that, you can click on the spinning key, you can click on add component, new C# script. In my case, I've already created the script, which is tooltip. Let me just go in here, tooltip controller. So basically, you create a C# script calling it tooltip controller, or whatever you want to control it. I mean, name it so you remember what it is. And then the first thing you want to do is create a public game object tooltips, which will be the canvas in general, which you will activate and deactivate through on-trigger Unity2D functions. So you don't even do anything in the start or the update function. You basically public game object tooltips. Once you write that, you want to write a void on-trigger Unity2D collider to the other. And then in my case, my player is tagged as player. So you want to write if open bracket other dot tag equals player, and you want to set the tooltips.setActive true. So basically, you're setting your canvas true, and I'm going to show you what that does in a second. You want to also put the closing brackets on each of these two statements, and you also want to create a on-trigger exit2D that turns off the tooltip canvas once you leave the selected area. So now that we have the tooltip controller script set up, by the way, if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments of what I did here. Just to go over again, this one sets the tooltips that we declared up here as a game object, sets it true, and this one sets it as false, so inactive. And what that does is, when you go back into the game, you're going to go on your spinning key, and you're going to click on add component, and you're going to click on tooltip controller, or whatever you named your script. So now, because we declared the game object as public, you have this little box down here. So what you want to do is, you want to grab this entire canvas, because your image and your text mesh pro or your UI text are within the canvas. So you want to grab this canvas and drag and drop it into the tooltips game object. And now when you go in, it's not really gonna do anything yet, and that is because you haven't set the canvas to not be active. And before I forget, you also need to add a box collider 2D and set that box collider 2D as a trigger. And you also want to kind of increase the size, so when your player walks in, it activates the script that activates the canvas. So we're going to increase the Y size, we're going to increase the X size, just so it's outside of our player. And it's set as a trigger. You got the script attached, and you also got the entire canvas into the game the public game object for the script, and your canvas is set to inactive. So now when you get into the game, it's not going to be shown, as you can see, but your spinning key or whatever your tooltip asset that you want to put in there is still active. And now when you walk in it, it's going to say, hey, you made it. And when you walk out, it's gone. So I hope that helped someone to kind of create a simple tooltip. And if you have any questions, again, just write in the comments, and enjoy the rest of your day.